We can now simply ask our devices for the time, and if you're connected to the internet, we'll get a response.
But one last cruisin' is keeping a lost art from slipping away, preserving the legacy of a time when the only thing that went tick-tock was the clock. Here's my interview with a young clockmaker who may be the unofficial youngest clockmaker in the Southwest.
I am a clockmaker or operaologist, and on the first quarter hour, it just plays 4 notes. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I was getting my bachelor's from New Mexico State University in mechanical engineering, and it was my last year of school, and there was a class offered on the history of how people found their longitude at sea, which basically had to do with the guy who determined that you can know how far east or west you are if on a boat, if you know the time in England and you have an accurate clock that can work on a ship. And then now this will go up, and if we count it, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. I contacted a clockmaker in El Paso who, with no real agenda, I was just asking if I could see what he does on a day-to-day basis, and that ended up becoming a thing where I'd basically go to his house every day of the week that I could to learn more and more. 8 years later, here we are in my own shop area now. You know, no 2 days are the same. Like, today I'll be working on a cuckoo clock, bawling my eyes out over how tedious and frustrating it is to make it play the music and for the bird to come out. And then tomorrow, you know, life will grace me with a nice classic American clock like that that's really easy and fun to work on. There we go. And then I'll see something that I don't get to see a whole lot, like that bracket clock back there. Maybe as a 25th anniversary kind of deal, 1885 to 1910, to give you an idea of how old it is. You know, this is definitely the kind of work that people only bring to you because they have, you know, extra income and they have a lot of sentiment behind it. Like the joke that I make that I shouldn't make is that I'm here to profit off your sentiment, but in the nicest way possible, because these clocks mean a lot to you and I'm just happy to be a part of it and keep it going for them. It's not the same as looking at your stove to know the time. It's not the same as looking at some battery operated clock to know the time. Like, these are, most of the time, these are clocks that had some actual hand in making them. There was a person behind it. There was a factory behind it that employed hundreds of people. I guess knowing that I'm keeping part of all of that work that people put in going still is what makes it special to me.
Well, you can reach Adrian by phone number that you'll see right there on your screen. And he also does house calls. So he'll come to your house, and if you have like a grandfather clock, those are kind of hard to transport. Yeah. He'll go and take a look at it.
That's really neat. I didn't even know people like him existed anymore.
Right, and mind you, he's 30. So he's very, very young.
And you shared a tidbit with me before we came back on the air about another guy that he has in his office.
So he has this protege, and he told me this funny story. And his protege, he's retired, and they'll go to house calls, and usually people will refer to him first because, you know, right, he's older, and they think that Adrian is his assistant, and
Adrian's
he's like,
the guy.
no, this is the boss. This is the guy you're talking to. So yeah, but I just the atmosphere in that workshop is incredible. It's just so peaceful. It's
very
just
quiet.
Old clocks, and he shared. This would be so long, but he shared such great stories of like some of the customers that he has, and some people like tear up because they've had this clock.
Right, they're sentimental. They're family heirlooms
yes,
at some point. You know, like they've been in the same family for so many years. And he's right. You know, like, when he gets pieces like this, I'm sure he's very touched, you know, like, wow, somebody's trusting me with this very important piece in their home, and I got to make sure that this is done very right.
It is so complex.
Yes.
He tore that whole thing apart, and I was like, I still don't understand how clocks work. Like, I still don't get it.
Some magic to it, you know, the little clock man inside the box makes it go.
Yeah, you're like, I have no idea. No batteries? What do you mean? How does this even physics? I don't know.
Who knows?